Welcome to the Add Up to the Brush. Now, this time, what we're going to do is start on the Krieg crew for the vehicle. So I'm just going to start off by mixing up a slightly darker mix. I've decided that Mechanicus Standard Grey is not necessarily going to be dark enough for where I want to start from. So I'm going to use some Eshin Grey mixed with Abyssal Blue. So a Games Workshop paint mixed with a army painter. So about the same amount of each. Actually, I think I want quite a bit more Eshin Grey in that. I'm not sure it's dark enough, to be honest. Getting there. That's more like it. That'll work as my starting colour. So what I'm going to do is take chisel tipped dry brush, moisten it, just get a bit of moisture into the tip, and then I'm going to work this paint off the brush into the tip of this brush. So all I've done so far to these is spray them Chaos Black and then just giving them a wash with Gal Vorbak. The same process as on the tank itself. And now all I want to do is use my damp dry brush to start to pick out all of the clothing. I'm using the chisel tip because it's got quite a point on it that I can work into recessed details and recessed areas. And at the moment I definitely want to keep this brush damp. We're not dry brushing at the moment. We're just trying to put in the main colour in over the top of that burgundy that we've put in earlier. Yeah, I did do the burgundy off camera. It's no different to what I've done with the tank. So you started where I got to. I literally had sprayed them black and then given a wash with Gal Vorbak, exactly the same as the tank was done. The only difference is we were starting from Chaos Black rather than Mechanicus Standard Grey. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go slightly darker on the base coat so that we could keep some colour on the legs and keep them darker, but then work the coat up lighter so that we do a lot of what we need to in just a few steps. Just going to moisten the brush again. Again, testing it on my arm. I can't see the water, but I can feel it. I know it's ready. Apologies for my stomach, folks. I think it's eager to get itself wrapped around my pot noodle that's sitting on the side waiting for me. We lost an arm. Never mind. I'll glue that back on in a minute. I've just used some of my Tamiya thin that I've made up to glue it in place. So, doesn't matter. His frog coat colour. So that'll do. What I'm going to start doing now is work Mechanicus standard grey back into what we're using. So treating them exactly like I've treated the tank. That guy, back to this guy. Catch your sleeve. Should have missed that earlier. Now we use Mechanicus standard grey rather than a lighter version of it. Just work this towards the bottom. Try to go as quick as I can. That's that guy. Right, so we're done with the Mechanicus standard grey. Next, what I want to use is some Dawnstone. And I'm not going to add any more water to the brush. So I'm trying to use this more and more towards the bottom edges rather than working it all the way back up into what we've already covered. Try and get a bit between his back great coat on the back legs. So that'll do for him. Getting a little bit of paint on the bottom of his cape, so I'm going to take him off now. Get it on the bottom of that great coat, and I don't want that there. You can have your pot noodling in a minute, guts. Try not bend his finger. Right. Last colour on the cape. I'm going to take Dawnstone and a tiny bit of Wraithbone. to get our lightest colour. And this is going to be just for the very bottoms of the trench coat, really. Bit that's pinned out, and that bit bottom of the sleeve. Just a bit between leg. Sleeve. That's him done. And the arm's going to be sitting like that, so I want that part of the sleeve done. I'm not so worried about the inside, but that'll do. Am I happy with the level of highlight? No. So add a tiny bit more Wraithbone. One last shot. That's better. Happy with that. Just looks that a little bit lighter. Just the bottom of the cloak. Look at the arm to do. And that'll do. So having done that, what I'm going to do now is cut back in the legs with some Army Painter standard black, matte black, and I'm literally going to cover the trousers and the shoes. Not worry about the straps around his legs. Make sure the legs are sufficiently done. Right, that's that guy's legs covered. His feet. starting to fill in the details on them. So, having done that to them, the next thing I'm going to put on is, where I can find it, my lead belcher. So for this I'm going to pick out the shoulder pads. That's that guy. So it's almost impossible for you to see what I'm doing. Sorry folks. So once this lead belcher's dried, I'm going to put a coat of rattling grime over it, as you may have suspected already.